All right. Good afternoon and welcome to this Friday night episode of Truly Live with co-host Oliver and Yolanda Blue. And we are coming to you live and in color from Albuquerque, New Mexico. At least one of us is. Stay tuned and we will be right back. Okay, bye.
situation. Love is enough to deliver me, to set me free. Love is enough. God's love is enough. I know His love, I know His love. Love is enough. It's a love that's freely given to me. Love is enough. And it's a special kind of love. Say, love is enough. No greater love have I met. Love is enough. Than to lay down His life for a friend. Love is enough. Now His love is inside me and you. Love is enough. So just spread love, just spread love. Everybody say.
Trying to find a way to escape.
Trying to find a way to escape all the pressure I feel growing inside of me, because I'm far away from you, knowing that you are my source, so I gotta find my way back to you, Lord. I've gotta find my way back to you, Lord. I've gotta find my way back to you, Lord. Gotta find my way back to you, Lord. I've gotta find my way back to you, Lord. I've gotta find my way. Darkly, I see no light in front of me. I've come to the conclusion that you are the eyes that see past all confusion to a place called sanity. You take my hand, I'm free. Lord, I've gotta find my way back to you, Lord. I've gotta find my way back to you, Lord. Gotta find my way back to you, Lord. I've gotta find my way back to you, Lord. I've gotta find my way back to you, Lord. I've gotta find my way back to you, Lord. I've gotta find my way back to you, Lord. Gotta find my way back to you, Lord. I've gotta find my way back to you, Lord. I've gotta find my
Your heart.
Lord, you said you never leave me, nor forsake me, and then all my ways to acknowledge you, and then you'll direct my path if I would keep my mind on you. You said you will keep me, you'll keep me, please keep me, please keep me, Lord.
See if you got a so hopefully the Wi-Fi
The real you loves you. Truly, the real you loves you. Truly, the real you loves you. Truly, the real you loves you. Truly.
Okay. We're on stage right now.
The real you love you.
I got it.
All right. All right, everyone. Welcome to Truly Live. Tonight is a special night because I am not in the same room with my beautiful wife, my partner, my friend. We are hundreds and hundreds of miles apart, but we're still one. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. It is so exciting to be here. And I am coming to you live from Albuquerque, New Mexico. And we decided that we're going to still go on with the show tonight. And so we just used our technology, and what you see is what you get. You got a beautiful farm girl from North Carolina sitting on the studio, the main studio at Truly Live, and you got her cohort, your co-host Oliver, out having a little fun out in Albuquerque. And but Truly Live is on and popping tonight. Thank you for being here. And I see Diane Harrison has joined us tonight, one of our devoted patrons. Thank you, Diane, for being here. Can I hear you say something, honey? I want to make sure that all your mic is working.
I'm not seeing any of the comments. Do you have comments turned on for me?
I have comments turned on, but you may not get them.
Oh wow!
So I'll have to.
There they are. I got them.
You got them. Okay.
Just now.
All right.
Okay, so now let me see how I can do the chat. Let's see.
So bear with us tonight. This is our first rodeo on doing the broadcast in 2 different locations, but everything seemed to be working out just fine.
Okay, it looks like I can't do any chats, but I do see that Diane, our Patreon, we got 2 patrons on. Diane and Dr. Jill are both on. Diane says, "Good." Okay, let's see if I can do this. I can't. No. Okay, so I don't have functions.
You might be a little restricted since all the controls are on this end.
And you should have made me a co-host so that I could do what I normally do, because you don't do that.
Well, like I said, this is our first rodeo.
Hi,
and,
hi, Diane. Pray my strength, girl.
boy, where did that churchy thing come from?
Listen, if you were close, you would need some help. If you were close, you would need some help.
Oh yeah.
Got me stretched over here.
I got you.
Okay, got me.
Well, yeah, I know you got a lot going on. I left you with many assignments, and you have met them all. So I applaud you, Mrs. Blue.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. You always got our back.
And Diane said, "Will do." Thank you, Diane. I appreciate it.
Yes.
See, I can't put any comments up on the screen because
Well, this way you can not be just you can stay focused and
we
not
like
multitask.
We like engagement, sir. We like engagement.
Well, we're still going to have engagement tonight. You can actually read the quotes, the comments, correct?
I can see them. Okay,
well, that means you can engage. Thank you so much. Well, just thanks to all of our patrons, all our families and friends for joining us tonight for episode 43 of Truly Live. And it is all the way live tonight. This is a holiday weekend for all of the Americans. It's an American holiday, I think. I don't know if they celebrate. Do they celebrate Memorial Day in any other country other than the U.S.? No, because this is about the memory of those that have served, right, in armed services. Is that what the purpose of the holiday is for, Yolanda?
My goodness. There you go.
Could you share with us so we can be learned and factually accurate?
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So what's the real deal on Memorial Day?
So it's a solemn day for Americans to remember those who died in order to protect our freedom to enjoy days such as this peacefully in the greatest country on the face of the earth. This is according to this article, 5 things you need to know about Memorial Day. This is Aaron Bandler who wrote this.
Okay. So it's an American holiday.
It's an American holiday. He said, but many Americans may not know the history of Memorial Day and how it came to be a national holiday. So here are 5 things. Memorial Day originated from Americans honoring those who lost their lives in the Civil War. That was the deadliest war in American history, with an estimated 620,000 American troops lost in the war. Okay. It was first known as Decoration Day. Little trivia. The name came from General John A. Logan, who led a veterans organization called Grand Army of the Republic, as Logan called for Decoration Day to be a national day of remembrance for the troops that had died in the Civil War on May 30th. Since that day didn't necessarily commemorate any particular battle, Decoration Day eventually became known as Memorial Day. Okay. The first Decoration Day ceremony occurred in 1868 at the Arlington National Cemetery. Around 5,000 people attended, and the event was officiated by the president then, who was Ulysses S. Grant. Let's see.
That's
And
enough.
number
That's
4, I got 2 more to give you.
all right. Go ahead. Come on with it.
On this.
Educate us.
Memorial Day was initially a holiday observed in the States before it became a federally recognized holiday. And that's when the government allowed their workers to have the day off in 1882. But for everyone else, it was a state holiday. The first state to adopt the holiday was New York in 1873. By 1890, all of the northern states had implemented the holiday, and the southern states had their own holiday to honor the fallen soldiers, but they eventually adopted the holiday in the aftermath of World War I. So by then, Memorial Day was expanded to honor all fallen soldiers, not just the ones in the Civil War, okay? And then in 1968, Congress passed a law declaring Memorial Day as a nationwide holiday on the last Monday in May. The last thing that we're going to know, this is number 5, on December 28, 2000, the then president, Bill Clinton, signed up into law an act that recognized 3 p.m. local time as the national moment of remembrance on Memorial Day. It's also worth noting that American flags begin the day at half-mast and are then raised to full mast at noon, where they remain until dusk. Okay, that's the 5 things that you need to know about Memorial Day.
Oh, wow.
That wasn't part of the plan.
Well, that was part of the plan.
Oh, okay.
We don't have a plan tonight.
I was going to say, you left me high and dry, sir.
I did that on purpose because we wanted to leave this week open just to have some general discussion, as we'll get into later, as it pertains to, everyone has kind of been taken apart by some of the recent events, more specifically this week, as we've had the mass shooting in one of the elementary schools in one of our states, and just so much confusion, conflict, lack of understanding, awareness of, where are we going as a species, as a country, and just going to talk about, how to make sense of things when it doesn't make sense. And so we're going to share somewhat tonight from that vein. But with that,
so we're deep into it, and we haven't even said who we are.
I'll let you take the first shot.
Okay, so that's Oliver over there in New Mexico, and I'm Yolanda here in North Carolina, and we're the OK Blues. best friends, married 31 years. We're parents and grandparents. We're honored to have close relationships with some phenomenal people. We have great friends. We're certified transformational coaches and speakers. We're co-founders of Truly OB, a personal and professional principle-centered development company where we help others to gain clarity about their true identity, which we call the real you. We share timeless content, universal principles, transformational practices, and we have community access with others who are committed to experiencing a deeper, more meaningful life. We'll also share some of our experiences from our journey together. We are a dance-loving, fun-loving couple that has leaned heavily into joy and laughter to get past some of our more challenging moments. Oliver usually does that. So, would you like to do our why? I bet you don't.
Oh, absolutely. I can do it.
Okay.
Yes. Why Truly Live? Why Truly OB? Why Yolanda and Oliver have devoted their life to personal development and to the bringing awareness to what we call the real you, in that we help people to come to an understanding of their true identity, who we really are. And we also help our communities, and we mostly operate in digital communities, help people to come into a crystal clear, focused awareness of the life that they would actually love to live. So help people get clarity on their vision for their life.
We want people to know that their life has what?
Deep meaning,
And
good purpose.
good purpose. Our passion is to help those who remain outside, unknowing, unawakened, and in need of a witness to the truth that is true always.
Say that again. Can you say that again?
I said our passion is to help those who remain outside, unknowing, unawakened, and in need of a witness to the truth that is true always. We love sharing what, Oliver? A powerful message with who?
With a powerful people.
With a powerful people, because that's who we are.
That is who we are.
Yeah.
And we're here to tell you that time and time over and over again, that is who you are, a very powerful people with a very with deep meaning and with good purpose.
Yes.
And that's what we share here on
Powerful, creative people.
Yes, here on Truly Live.
All right. Are we doing some gratitude sharing?
Always do gratitude sharing. That is the way we walk.
That would be you, because I'm turned off.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, tonight I am happy and grateful to announce that we are going to be moving our live show from Friday nights at 7 p.m. to Thursday night at 7 p.m. starting in the month of June. Therefore, this is the last night that Truly Live will be streaming live on Friday nights at 7. We're actually moving to Thursday nights.
So that means that the first show on Thursday night will be Thursday, June 2nd.
Which is this coming Thursday.
Of 2022 will be our first night on Thursday nights.
Yes.
That's
So we want you to
almost a year.
Almost a year on Friday nights, but it is time to hold a different space, and we want you to come on over there with us, because we are going to be sharing an expanded episodes. We're going to be going deeper and more richer into personal development, and you don't want to miss any of that. So Thursday nights at 7, starting June the 2nd.
June 2nd.
Which is this coming Thursday night. So come on, mark your calendars and be with us.
So now, if those of you who are watching would like to share what you're happy and grateful for, we of course would love to share some of those on screen.
Absolutely.
we'd like to do that. Oh, there's our friend Virginia Carter. She's in. She said she's looking forward to the day when war is no longer, when swords are beaten into plowshares. I
Oh,
agree with you.
oh, absolutely. We all agree with that.
Yes. Diane is grateful to be in her right mind and in good health. Hey,
Hey,
Diane, I hope I didn't get you started.
amen to that, Diane.
Amen.
Yes,
Always a good thing.
yes. Gratitude is we found out, Yolanda and I, many years ago, that gratitude is one of the most effective ways uh, to remain grounded,
Yeah.
or if we feel ourselves getting off center, it's a very effective way to get back centered by
Yeah.
by being aware of what we already enjoy in
Yeah.
this life, and to be thankful for that. And
Yeah.
so gratitude is just a mere acknowledgement that we are abundantly blessed, and we are.
Yes, we are. Gratitude is an energetic and vibratory field that shifts everything to the present moment. So it's one of the quickest and easiest ways to change your environment.
Change your environment, like they say, to change your vibe or your vibration. You know, when I got off the plane here in Albuquerque on the other day, one of the first thing that I noticed was the vibration that hit me when I walked into the airport. And so there were those there welcoming us along the corridor all the way to the baggage claim. Different people, great smiles, welcoming the people that were coming into the state, uh, welcoming us, you know, with open arms and showing and expressing gratitude and love for us coming. So that vibration immediately hit me that, oh wow, there's a lovingness here, there's an acceptance here, there's a diversity here that you don't see in other places.
Okay.
And so they use gratitude to set a tone for those that are visiting their state, and I think that's a wonderful thing.
Okay. So you went to many cities in New Mexico or just into
Into into into,
Albuquerque?
into Albuquerque,
Oh, into Albuquerque. Okay. So
right?
you're saying that Albuquerque was welcoming you into their city.
Right. I'm saying the vibration here in
Okay.
Albuquerque is very welcoming. Yes,
Okay, great. Okay, wonderful, wonderful. Well,
yes.
I've never been, and so I'm gonna have to have that experience.
Oh, absolutely,
Maybe I'll go with my girls.
absolutely. Hey, this in this in this program called Transformation that we teach and share, we believe that everyone, with no exception, can have and experience the life that they love. But there first must be a desire that, and then there must be a design or a blueprint for that life. What would you love? We've asked that question many times on this show. What would you love? When we ask people that, many, you know, in our years of experience with working with people, we ask people the question, what would you love? And some of the lack of responses or some of the strange looks we get when we ask people that question,
Yeah.
it's just an indication that people are not used to being asked, what would they love?
Yes.
In other words, people don't even expect, in many cases, they don't expect that they can have what they would love. So they don't even dream it up, or they don't even plan it up, or they don't even design a life that includes those things that would, you know, that they would like to experience.
Yes.
But here on this show, in our business, that's what we teach. The primary, one of the foundational uh, uh, pillars,
Okay. Okay.
right, is what we call blueprinting, and that's where you take the things that are in your heart that you desire, whether they be longings or whether it be discontent, and you turn those into a blueprint for the life that you would love to experience, called blueprinting.
Yes, that is what we do. Dr. Jill says she's happy and grateful to be content. And that is a state of being that a number of people don't get to experience. But
Right.
so congratulations to you, Dr. Jill. She also says that sometimes she wants to just be a beach bum.
Yeah. And listen, so when we talk about designing a life that you love or having an experience that you would love to have, that maybe you feel like it's a long way between having it and where you are now. And it doesn't matter what the experience you desire. The mere fact that it's a desire in your heart is an indication that you can have it, that you can experience it. And so we help people to understand that. And so we ask that all important, powerful question: what would you love? One of my goals this year was to, one of my goals for many years was to uh, visit many different venues where they're known for great golf, because I love golf. I like golf. And so right now I'm actually sitting in the fulfillment or the contentment of that desire about taking this trip to New Mexico, to Albuquerque, to spend several days in a golf resort that allows me to have that experience. And so that's just an example of having a vision or having a design or having a blueprint. Because if you don't have it, if you don't know what you want, how would you know what direction to go?
Yes.
Yeah. What makes you happy? We asked the question. What, like Jill said, she's so grateful to be content. Well, her contentment is actually not coming from something that she doesn't want. Her contentment is coming from something that she is experiencing that aligns with that which she desires.
Yes.
That's where that contentment is coming. And I think she said it in the comment before.
No, she said she's grateful to be content, and then she said sometimes she just wants to be a beach bum.
Right. And you know what? I'm sure if she hasn't had that experience of being a beach bum, she's gonna have it.
Yeah. Well, she most certainly can.
And she most certainly can. And so it's about the desires of your heart. I mean, the sacred scripture said that God gives us the desires of our heart. And what that means is he placed the desires within us to have a desire to experience something.
I think that scripture actually says that he takes pleasure in giving us the desires of our heart.
Pleasure.
Which actually puts it in a different framework.
Yes.
He takes pleasure in giving us the desires of our heart.
Right. And that's all tied into our happiness. Because God one of the main purposes for our life is our happiness. It's our function, because happiness is a part of our nature. And so to have an experience of happiness, which basically means there's nothing lacking, or I'm not lacking in that which I'm not lacking in anything. That's basically what happiness means. And it's not about what we possess. It's not about what we possess, but it's about our nature. It's about knowing that we are complete and whole and fulfilled and content within our own self. Before there's any activities, before there are any relationships, before there are any sensations, or before there's any events, our true nature has within it what's the characteristic is called happiness.
So Dr. Jill is actually going to be heading to Cancun in a few weeks. So she will get to be. She will get to play beach bum. So way to go! I hope you enjoy. She also acknowledges that our nature is contentment.
It is contentment.
And Oliver and I are happy and grateful now that we are all making intentional decisions in the interest of our growth. We love that we're all staying on our growing edge.
Absolutely.
All right.
Well, before we get into our quote tonight, I wanted to just share a few things about.
More sharing?
Yes. I told you tonight's a little different, but it's very informative and inspiring at the same time.
Okay.
But I wanted to share just a few, uh, just a few highlights on the state of New Mexico, or more specifically here in Albuquerque. Um, but New Mexico is a state that has a rich culture and rich tradition. And historically, Native Americans have inhabited New Mexico for thousands of years, and it's currently home of 22 tribes, including the Navajo and the Apache. And they all have the Navajo and the Apache all have reservations here in the state of New Mexico. However, the other 19 tribes have what they call pueblos. Okay. And it says that every tribe has its own traditional language, cult, customs, attire, ceremonies, songs, and prayers. All collectively, the tribe's ways of life have had far-reaching implications on its people. And so this city of Albuquerque, of about 600,000 people, it's not a small city, but it sits in the desert part of the state, which for the most part, the entire state is positioned in the desert. But it is 5,000 feet above sea level. So here in what that means in golf language is that the air is a whole lot lighter. The air here is a whole lot drier. There's not much moisture here. Of course, it doesn't get much rain.
But we had a downpour here in Providence County this morning. Yeah.
I thought about that.
Yeah, it was rough.
You had, and then after I got off the phone with you, I walked out into this beautiful 7-degree morning, sun shining, the mountains backdrops, and what happens when you're this high up above sea level in golf terms is that the air is lighter, so the ball travels so much further. So it is a golfer's delight to come and hit balls in this environment because, I mean, you get more bang for your buck, I guess you might say. But it can get you in a little bit of trouble because, as I have already done on many holes, I've played 36 holes already, and I would probably say on at least 8 of those holes, I have airmailed the ball over the green.
Oh, so you've not made the adjustment yet?
I have made the adjustments, but as soon as you make the adjustment and then you hit the ball in the center of the face again with a different club, it just takes off and it just keeps going and going like the ever-rated battery.
Oh.
But for the most part, I have adjusted. The day was my second round. The first day, I really struggled because all this was new to me. All of that, what I just spoke to you about. Plus, up here, we're in the mountains. So when you're in the mountains, that influences the ball, how it rolls. And if you don't realize that any golf course in the mountains is built from the mountain downward. So you have to understand that anything that's going away from the mountain is downhill, whether it looks uphill or not. And you have to know that. And that anything that you're going towards the mountain is uphill, whether it looks downhill or not. And that's confusing. If you don't understand that, you get very frustrated in playing golf. But after getting all that local knowledge on yesterday, I applied it today, and today's round was a much improvement, even to the point that I had the low round for today out of 60 golfers. Wow. Out of 60 golfers, yes.
Oh wow! Look at there.
Yeah. So we have a couple more days, and I should be even improving upon that. That's my goal.
Now, this is a good example of what happens when you don't resist, when you don't, you don't cause yourself suffering, hoping and wishing that it were different, but instead you accept, Oliver, you accepted what the conditions were, and you made the adapt. You
And
adapted.
made the adjustments. Yes.
You made the adjustments.
Yes.
Outstanding. Outstanding. Well, way to go.
Yes. I know that would make you happy.
Well, you know, I always want you. You're a winner in my book. Period. So
Absolutely.
okay. So
So for tonight's quote, mo-
yes, is it a golf quote? I mean, since we're doing all this golf talking, is it a golf quote?
it's not a golf quote, but it can be applied in golf.
Okay, let's hear it then.
Anytime we speak in principles, then that are universal, they can be applied to every area of life. We know
Yes,
that, right?
yes, we do.
And so tonight's inspirational and encouragement quote comes, actually, this quote comes from me. And this quote comes from my personal notes uh, that I keep as I study and investigate different things within uh, the transformation in spiritual communities. And it says, when you recognize that our being, when I say our being, I'm talking about all of humanity. So when we recognize that our being, okay, like human being, so our being,
Keep going. Keep going.
when we recognize that our being is shared, that we are a shared being, even though there's 8 billion people on the planet, 8 billion beings on the planet. When you recognize that we all share the same being, it's not like 8 billion different beings, but there's only one being, which means one nature called human being. But there's 8 billion expressions, or what we would call manifestations of the one being, unique expressions, okay? What we call the personal self. But as we recognize this one being is shared with everyone and everything, we have discovered the remedy for all conflicts and the means by which kindness, harmony, and justice are restored to humanity. It is in the knowing that we share the one being. Because when we know that we share the one being, then we understand that we all share the same life.
So will you please read the quote as the quote is written without the
Without my
dissertation?
commentary,
Without the dissertation, because I can't see what part is the quote and then which part is commentary. So if you would please read the quote, and then if you'd like to dissertate some more, you may.
thank you, baby.
Please.
I'm going to get through this without making a commentary.
Okay, let's see.
When we recognize that our being is shared with everyone and everything, we have discovered the remedy for all conflicts and the means by which kindness, harmony, and justice are restored to humanity.
Wow.
How did I do?
That was really good. It's a really great quote. Hey, you'll have to share that with me. I'd like to have that one in my collection. That was a good quote.
Absolutely.
And that's an Oliver Blue quote.
That's an Oliver Blue quote.
I love it. Yeah. Diane says she loves that too.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, yes. And it's such a timely quote, Yolanda. I don't have to mention the fact that, after the events of this week, the horrific events of this week,
which follows another mass shooting up in Buffalo.
yes, yes,
it's just one after another, it appears.
or another one.
Yeah.
And people are really becoming disillusioned with the digression of of harmony and justice and kindness within this world that we live in. People are becoming a lot really disheartened at how humanity, and not just in the United States, but around the world, how we continue to miss the mark in terms of having love and peace demonstrated among the entire species. It's almost like we are regressing.
There are always those, and that is a reality that we observe time and time again. But there are always, and I'm always so incredibly encouraged by those who do that very thing, express um, grace and kindness, and they jump in to help. And of course, that is what has happened. In a number of the conflicts that we've seen. It is it's a sad thing, especially when we're talking about children
Yes.
and the effect that it's going to have on them. So, you know, I have been in the state of in the space of holding a space of gratitude and peace and comfort and calm for all of those people who are affected. And I dare say that it's not just the people in Texas, in Uvalde, because we've been touched, and here we are in North Carolina. So
Yeah. Yeah. When things of this magnitude happens, it's an issue for all humanity. It's just not for those that are directly affected, because we are left with trying to understand it, to try to bring some sanity to it. When if you look at just the act itself, it's an insane act that you not only have victims, but you have the victimizer himself or herself that is involved here. And so, in a world that we have so much history, where it seemed that the devaluing of human life is on the rise, given all the history that we have, given the fact that we have advanced so mightily in so many areas. We have, advanced mightily in the areas, for instance, technology, transportation, the way we produce food, the way we are able to build, structures, the way we're able to discover medicines. I mean, if you look into the arts, if you look into the sports, if you look into every other area of life, humanity has advanced considerably, have made quantum leaps. But when you look at where we are in terms of our mental state, the mental state of humanity, and I'm talking collectively here. I know that all of us, we may say, well, I didn't do that, or I wouldn't do that. However, as we stated here, that in the quote, it says that when we recognize that there is only one being, and we all share that one being, there's only one mind, and we all share that one mind, or we have access to the mind that would think of such a thing. All of us do, because we've all thought of evil thoughts before. You wouldn't be human, or you wouldn't be honest if you said you hadn't. And we all thought of, and we all think good thoughts. So I'm not saying there's no good.
You said evil thoughts. You're talking about unkind,
unloving
thoughts.
Right. Thoughts okay. Where we devalue,
okay.
Where we devalue each other, and okay. where we are divided, where we allow our politics, or we allow our nationality, or we allow our race or agenda to cause us to divide and subdivide and to give value to people based on those things, those outward things, those temporal things. And we lose sight of the reality, like the quote said here, is that we all share the same life. We all share the same being. We all breathe of the same air. So
we are certainly all breathed by the same source, because
and we all breathe by the same source.
Because none of us breathe ourselves. There's someone else. There's something else that does that.
Absolutely. And so it is, like it says here, without a recognition of our true reality as one shared being, that not only we share it with each other, but we share it with all living things,
yes.
even the planet that we live on.
Yes.
And that we have a responsibility to be a caretaker of each other, to be our brother's keeper, and to value each other based on this shared interest.
Yes.
So that's why we feel the pain of someone else's misfortune, because we're directly connected to them. We're not disconnected, though we are in 8 billion different forms or bodies, but we all share the one mind, this one spirit. And so that's why we feel the pain of another's hurt, because it's our hurt. And so, like I said, we have advanced in all these other areas of life.
But
we seem to be lagging in our understanding of who we are, what you and I call the real you. When we come to an understanding that we are one creation. And so in here in this quote, it's saying, without the knowledge or the awareness of that, then we see ourselves as something that we're not. And we see ourselves divided from each other, which creates this separation, which creates this fear that, we have to self-preservate. And sometimes we'll go to any extent to self-preservate, because we see that which is not ourselves as different from ourselves, and we see it as a threat to ourselves. And so we isolate that threat, like they do in the military, and they say isolate the threat and eliminate the threat. So this type of thinking is where, we seem to have gone backwards as a species. And
so let's make certain that we spend time talking about who it is that we really are, because that's a lot of conversation about the problem and the fact that that's not who we are.
Right, but but we also know that where the problem lies, therein lies what? Therein lies the solution. Therein lies the answer.
Yes.
And so to me, and you and I teach this in our coaching and teaching of transformation, that everything starts or is created twice. First in thought, then in what?
Form.
Then in form. So it is our thinking, or it's the thinking of humanity that needs to be transformed.
Yes, it is our thinking that needs to be transformed. Dr. Jill says we flip-flop between those two opposing natures, thinking that they're two separate things, but it's not two separate things. It's just the one thing, and we're either calling out for love, or we are, and when we are when we're crying out, we can just be very unskilled and hurtful when we're crying out for love, as opposed to when we're expressing love.
So you're saying that when we're not expressing or demonstrating our true nature as love through loving acts, but we're actually doing somewhat the opposite of that, that is a call to as a call to others, that I'm calling out to know love because I don't know it.
Yes. In that moment.
And sometimes it gets extreme, is what we're saying, right?
Yes.
So how do we avoid getting to the extreme moments? And so that's why it's so important for voices like Truly Live and other voices in the world that their focus is on helping people to identify their true self, their true nature as love and as joy and peace, so as to bring the mind into alignment with that, so that we can begin to practice and demonstrate having our thoughts in alignment with our true nature of love.
Yes.
And so that's what one of the motivations for us being here each week is, to help others understand who they are, the real, what we call the real you.
And this is why we don't. Don't take on despair, and we are not hopeless, because we know and we recognize that there are all these expressions of love. There are all these demonstrations of love.
Yes.
And so this is why we can hold hope.
Yes. Yes. Another one of my quotes, as I was looking through them today and meditating and contemplating on our conversation tonight, I said, America says it was founded for the pursuit of happiness. I says, real happiness is the rediscovery of the true self, the real you. What you say?
I say you did good in that you shared your quote without doing your commentary, so that I'm not certain where you're going. So good job there.
Yeah. Yeah. And so it's like the pursuit of happiness is something that we are it's something that we're engaged in, looking for it outside of us, only to find, that we go from one thing to another, only to find that happiness that we call, that maybe the world is saying is happiness, it's only a fleeting experience.
Yes.
And so when the experience happens, and then the joy is over, then we go to the next event or activity, looking for something or some special thing that we're going to experience that is going to give us everlasting happiness. But we have learned, we have investigated in our study and transformation that happiness is not something that is outside of us, but it's a part of our nature.
It is
Who we are. So we don't go looking for happiness in events or activities or relationships or any place outside of us, but that we take the nature of happiness that we are to everything that we do.
That's right.
So whatever we do, I didn't come out here to Albuquerque, New Mexico to play golf for several days just to be happy. No, I came out here to bring my happiness to a place I've never been.
Yes.
And express my happiness in experiencing, this environment. And so I was happy when I got here. And guess what? I'm going to be happy when I leave. And I'm going to be even more happier when I leave with more than what I came with. If you understand what I'm saying.
I do understand. Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes. So we can continue this conversation somewhat next week, but because this comes on, the heels of our last episode where we talked about real friendships.
Yes.
We've talked about happiness and what that is. We've talked about a lot of things.
Well, and we talked about friendships as part of our self-love.
Part of our self-love. And then we spent a whole week on self-love.
Yeah.
And we spent a whole month on love, talking about love. And so, there's this song that we all are familiar with that says, what the world needs now is what? Love, sweet love. And so this love that the world needs is already here. It is within us. It is who we are. And so as we make every effort here on our show and in our life and our demonstration of life, not just talking about this, you have this talk show, but you and I have a determination. We have a focus in our daily walk to be loving, to be the light of the world, to demonstrate that love is real, that love is powerful, and that love resolves all things. Because we know it does. We know it does.
And we're not saying that, we are the light. What we're saying is that as we all shine our light, it gives hope and allows direction for those who are slightly confused.
Maybe looking right. Maybe the mind, their thought life, their patterns are not yet aligned with the reality of who they are as love.
That's
And
that's
so
part of that.
we stand as a guidepost.
So that's part of that part of our passion statement when we talk about to help those who remain outside, unknowing, unawakened, and in need of a witness of the truth that is
Yeah.
true always. And we're not saying that anyone is outside and unknowing or unawakened, or
No,
even that they're in need of a witness of the truth is true always. What we're saying is there are times when people think that
right. It's
they
in the
think
thinking.
that
Right.
they are outside,
Right.
unknowing, unawakened,
Right.
in need of a witness of a truth that
Right.
is true always. Because the
Right.
truth is true always, period.
Right. And the truth is that it's true always that no one is outside of the
Yeah,
reality of who they are.
of who they really are.
It only happens in a mind that believes that it's separate
That's
from
right.
itself, it's separate from others, and it's separate from its creator.
That's
And that's what has to be reconciled.
yes.
That's what has to be reconciled. And I'm going to finish with that quote again. It says, when we recognize or when we reconcile that our being is shared, that we're all one. We're all one, and we share this one life together, even with our creator, with everyone and everything.
Yes.
We have discovered the remedy, the solution for all conflicts, and the means by which kindness and harmony and justice, which is what we all want,
Yes.
are restored to humanity. Not that they've been taken away from us.
No.
We have just ignored them, or we have looked in the wrong places for them.
Yes.
We have to look within ourselves. Everything is within ourselves.
Just like the seed.
Just like the seed. Everything that the seed is capable of, all the potential is in the seed.
Yes.
Our potential to live in harmony, our potential to live in love, our potential to live in peace and joy and happiness and in fulfillment and contentment, like Jill said.
Yes.
Our ability to experience the real you that loves you. It can happen, and it will happen one person at a time as each one of us say yes to that which has been promised to all of us. That we all will eventually wake up and come home to the reality of our oneness with each other. That in and of itself solves all problems. Like Virginia said, when we come to that awareness, we can beat down our weapons. She called it, she said, when swords are beaten into plowshares. Why? We won't need swords anymore, because there'll be no more war. There'll be no more conflict. There'll be no more fighting. There will only be the love that we share. It's called heaven on earth. And you can experience it.
Yes, we all can.
In the midst of the misunderstanding. And so that's why we're here. That's why our voice is so important here in this season of life, in this season of the history of humanity. Truly Live has a voice that we believe that is very relevant. And it has remedy to the despair, to the discontent. It has remedy to those that feel like they don't have a way out. There is a way out, and it's in the knowing of yourself. So with that,
Diane said that's good stuff, and she said thank you for the true demonstration of love. She says you both do. Thank you for the true demonstration of love. Thank you, Diane. Wow, Oliver. I want to make certain that you're drinking. Are you drinking plenty of water while you're out there?
I'm drinking plenty of water. I'm drinking at least 3 bottles of water while on the course itself.
Okay.
But I need to drink more because this environment is totally different. It's doing different, having different effects on me.
Yes.
But I am trying to be as wise as possible.
Good.
And but it's all good.
Well, Oliver, we have come up to the top of the hour.
We certainly have, and it's been a precious hour. And I've been inspired by what we've talked about. I've been transformed, and my awareness has been expanded on what the problem is and what the answer is.
Okay.
And I feel empowered going away from here to be more of who I am, so that I can help others. So I can help others.
All right. Well, Oliver, I'm so glad. I'm so happy and grateful that you are safe and having fun,
Yes.
taking your happiness and having fun and
Yes.
spreading some love out
Yes.
there in Albuquerque, New Mexico.
Absolutely. There's some wonderful, wonderful friends, wonderful men here that I fellowship with once a year on these trips. And there's a lot of brotherhood here. There's a lot of love among us. And
Well, so, and I'll say namaste to the BOG
yes,
because, they all, it is good fellowship for you. And I'm glad that you're getting to experience that.
yes, yes,
So very happy and grateful that everyone has joined with us tonight.
yes,
We want to end our this session like we do always, and that is by blessing you with by sharing a blessing, which we use the loving kindness meditation by the Dalai Lama. So,
Hey, Yolanda, before you do that, there are some that came on late. Can you make the announcement again about our change in broadcast?
yes, Oliver shared again that this is the last Friday. This is the last Friday night that Truly Live will be airing on Friday night at 7 p.m. Beginning on the first Friday night in June, which is June 2nd, which is next Thursday. I said the next Friday night. The next Thursday, our next broadcast will be on Thursday night, June 2nd at 7 p.m. And we will continue each Thursday night at 7 p.m. for until Oliver says we're changing again. How about that, guys?
Yeah. Thank you so much, Yolanda.
So, so again, we bless all of you who joined with us, and we bless those that you hold near and dear to your heart. Oliver, you want to start?
Yes. May you be truly happy.
May you live in peace.
May you live in love.
May you know the power of forgiveness.
May you come to know that your life has deep meaning and good purpose.
That's right. May you live in the recognition that your life has deep meaning and
Yes.
good purpose. That's the Dalai Lama. And Oliver and I add to that. May you live in the awareness of who you truly are. We extend this blessing to every being that's on the planet. And so it is.
And so it is.
So we hold a space for the people of Ukraine and all those people who are affected over in that region, along with the people in Buffalo and now the people down in Uvalde, and all people who
Every
who are experiencing things that they would not necessarily want to
Yes.
experience. We hold a space of love.
Yes.
We send out the energy of peace and
Yes.
comfort and well-being.
Yes.
Because they will get through this.
Yes.
They can get through this.
Yes. And love must be total, and love hasn't forgotten anyone.
That's right. So we hold that space of love for them.
Yes.
And we will continue to uplift them in love.
Yes.
All right, Oliver.
Well, thank you so much. And Once again, we love you all. Thank you to our patrons and all our viewers. And with that, my name is Oliver.
I'm Yolanda.
And
We are
the
the
OK
OK
Blues.
Blues.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
I caught it.
I know I have not always been what you want me to be. Even at times I pushed your sweet love away, but you stay right here beside me, never letting me go. Now I know the love I needed was right here all along. I know that love is enough to forgive all the hurt and pain. Love is enough to remove all the guilt and shame. Love is enough to make up for what took from me. I know that love is enough. God's love is enough. God's love is enough. God's love is enough. God's love is enough.